A few months ago, we had the opportunity to test drive the all-new Volkswagen e-Golf. Now, let me recap you on that review just a little bit. The new e-Golf is based on the new Mark 7 platform for the Golf. It has a longer range because the batteries have more capacity. It has a larger motor, making it a little bit quicker and torqueier. And all around, it's a very good EV. But when we drove it, that was on a beautiful day in Spain. We didn't use the wipers, we used the air conditioning a little bit. So this time, we've got the e-Golf for a week in my neck of the woods, and we're gonna see what it's like to drive this every day. Day one, I picked up the e-Golf. It had just over 240 kilometers of range on it. I'm assuming it was fairly full, and since the charge, the computer says we went 19 kilometers. So I'm gonna drive this as much as I can without charging it to see how much range we can really get with this. And it's gonna be a mixture of highway and city driving, probably mainly city driving though. By the way, today it's 12.5 degrees Celsius out right now. It's raining. I'm using the wipers. I have the climate control on. I don't have the heated seats on or anything, but other than that, so far so good. Okay, day two of our range test on the e-Golf. Just use my phone here to record it. And let's hit record there. So we have 129 kilometers of range left, and we have driven 85 kilometers. Yesterday my wife took it on the freeway for about 45k, so that might eat into the range, but that's everyday driving. Now it's off to go pick up the kids. Now the daycare is only about 1 3/4 kilometers away. It's about just over a 3-kilometer round trip, so it's not very far. That's where I think an electric vehicle or even a plug-in hybrid, basically if you can drive it full electric, this is where it really shines, because you're not using up all that fuel to warm up that gasoline engine for short trips. So yeah, if you did a lot of this type of driving, the electric car is for you. So not a lot of driving today in this, but yeah, we're not going to charge it until it really needs it, just to see how far we can go on the charge on regular driving. All right, day three. Day two was pretty uneventful. Just went to pick up the kids from daycare. Today we're going to take it for a longer drive. We're going to drive into Richmond by the airport and back, so kind of a mixture of highway and city driving. And we are at we've driven 89 kilometers. Like I said, yesterday was almost a non-driving day, and our range is 127 kilometers. Let me just take a shot here to let's see, look at. And it is 20 degrees outside, so I will have the air conditioning on today for a little bit. Anyway, it's just to cool it off. So let's get going. Almost the end of day three. Just to give you an update, we have driven 136 kilometers since the charge, and our range now is 85 kilometers. So I think we are on our way to definitely at least achieving the 200 kilometer range. One thing I have noticed though is, of course, it does make a difference if you go up a hill. I was really impressed with the range, and I lost a whole bunch of range because I climbed a very large hill, and it still hasn't recovered from that yet. So I don't know if the results would be different if you lived in a flatter area, but yeah, so 136k, 85 kilometers to go, and I'm still not going to charge it. Let's see how far we can go. Day number 4, not a huge driving day, and let me just record this for you to see, we have our range is 85 kilometers and we have driven 138 kilometers. So yeah, anyways, one thing I've noticed doing this test, it's really made me aware of how little I drive sometimes. This is day 4 and I've only driven 140K, but certain weeks I drive less, certain weeks I drive more. But anyways, it has not been charged. I'm not gonna charge it until it gets really close. By the way, it is 20.5 degrees outside. That's what the computer is saying. So the climate control's on just a little bit, not overly hot. It's not raining, wipers aren't being used, so it should be pretty optimal for an electric car for distance-wise. This is, I think, day 6, day 5. Didn't drive the e-Golf at all because I needed the Highlander for a different type of shoot. So we are at, there's a no roof car over there, a convertible that Brooklyn says. We are at 171 kilometers we have traveled, and the warning just came on. We have 52 kilometers left. So we are probably about 30 kilometers away from home right now. We are in Vancouver. So this should probably take us close to our 200, but we're going to be really close to running on empty. So this should be interesting. All right, I think we are actually gonna have to plug in finally. Reason being, we actually got a warning at about 25 kilometers to go. Look at this, nice stop. Anyways, we got a warning and it said limited function. I don't know what that means. So Cynthia's got the phone here. Maybe she can zoom in on how far we've went here. 194 kilometers traveled. And we are down to 19 kilometers to empty. So we've really depleted the battery charge. But the good thing about it is the range is supposed to be 200 kilometers. Definitely, you can see it is doable. We were traveling at or above highway or posted speed limits all the time. We weren't driving it in eco mode, and we drove it on highways, short trips. Cold weather, use the wipers, use the air conditioning. Even though it's not a scientific experiment here, I think you can safely say that 200 kilometers is no problem. Final thoughts on the e-Golf after driving it for a week? It still is, like I said before, a solid, fun car to drive. It has a lot of utility. You really don't feel any compromises with that electrical system. I still had a lot of room in the hatch, a lot of room for the kids, and overall, it's a good Golf, and I think it's pretty good looking. A couple of things I did notice though is, first of all, range anxiety. Initially, I said there was no range anxiety with the extended range of this e-Golf in the first review. Well, I did experience range anxiety with this one, but let me explain. It's because I ran it down to 0 on purpose. If I owned this vehicle, it would never happen because I don't drive that much, first of all, in my commute, but I would have a charger at home and I would plug it in every single night. And that goes for any EV that I've tested. When I had the Model S, the Chevrolet Bolt, the Hyundai Ioniq, it doesn't matter how much range they have, I still plug them in every night because I like to wake up and have a full tank of fuel. Just like my cell phone. If it's not empty, I still plug it in every night. It's just a habit. So I did experience that anxiety because when it was that empty, I went to the closest stations that I knew of and they were both full. Then I went to my secondary, which was a ways away, and I was running on pretty close to empty, and it was full as well. So I was a little bit anxious, to say the least. I was able to get it to a station that actually had a DC fast charger, and it basically topped it up to over 80% in just over a half hour. So that was a big bonus, and that does come standard with the e-Golf. But normally, I don't think I could see myself getting into that position. So then you get into the range of 200 kilometers. Is that really enough? Well, one thing I realized driving it for a week is I really don't drive very far, and I didn't realize that. You see, most of the time I equate driving distances to time. From my house to the airport, it's about an hour and 20 minutes, so it's far for me. But when you're driving EV, you're really conscious of how many kilometers you're driving. And believe it or not, it was only just over 30 kilometers. It's because I'm always in traffic. So, you know what, if 200 kilometers is not enough for you for your commute, I would say, I think you gotta move closer to work. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.